96% confirmation that this individual is the last registered arbiter. Access granted. Welcome back, Chrono Trigger. The wrong game. First Lynx, now you? Gosh. Hello, and welcome back to Chrono Cross. I'm going to the 4th floor before I get attacked. We're exploring more of Chronopolis this time. We went to both sides here, got to learn a little bit more about Lavos, basically got a summary of the Chrono Trigger game. Oh, let's see, we got some guards here. The experiment will begin soon. Please evacuate to your designated positions. We will do the same in the case of the emergency. I totally butchered that. Only personnel registered as Arbiter may enter. Well, I'm not allowed to enter. I am not registered as Arbiter. You know, I had a realization. Hey look, it's Gizmotoids. I was in the middle of this battle, I'm just like, fight. Oh wait, we haven't seen that enemy yet. I'm doing great. Gizmotoids. Reninites, robots, kind of just spin around, do stuff, fun things like that. Yeah. They're basically robots on stilts. I don't know. They have an interesting design. They have a very owl-like head that just spins all the way around. And they're on like stilts or crutches. However you want to go about that. However you want to dive into this can of worms. Also, it's dead now. So I will see you in a sec. Oh look, I can get in a word without being attacked. Anyway, we're on the 4th floor. Again. Can't get into that other room because we're not the Arbiter. We're not registered anyway. We walk in and we see this. Everyone gather round. Let's see. In the 11th century, a scientist by the name of Luca indicated the possibility of time travel through the use of a time egg, which utilizes miniature black holes. Whether this could actually be possible or not is still the subject of intense debate, and no conclusions have been made. According to her theory, by rotating a single point of supergravity, space-time continua can be drawn in, thus making it possible to transform that singular point which pulls in everything else into a ring formation. Using this ring as a gate between dimensions, it should be possible to travel back and forth between various space-time. I've heard that the time egg already existed during the legendary ancient dynasty. We shouldn't have to rely on theories from an ancient civilization that may not have even existed. We can do this. But it's said that the time was altered using the time egg. That's just a legend. There isn't even any evidence to prove that this ancient dynasty ever existed. The experiment should be starting soon. After we discovered an unusual gravitational field in this barren Sea of El Nido, we built several artificial islands and established Chronopolis. This was all done to facilitate our top-secret research. But now, our research is about to come to its end. Once the final adjustments are made, the experiment will commence. It's just a matter of time, so everyone should keep up the good work. The chief hasn't returned yet. He hasn't? Then we'll have to hold off till he gets back. To think that time is not absolute, but elastic, relative and subjective. That there can be individual differences caused by changes in time. Perhaps the same people and life forms can even exist in several different space-times. An independent time that flows with a will of its own? What nonsense. So yeah, you walk in and you get a little lecture on stuff. Oh look, an enemy. Oh look, a door. Fine, don't let me go through the door. I see how it is. Rude. We see various things on various monitors. So yeah, basically all we learned is that the chief isn't back yet. So they can't start their experiments. No, stop. Cease. Cease and desist. I've already fought 2 of you. So that leaves us with B1. Please present the Central Lab Zone registration card. We don't have it, so we're gonna go back to the first floor. But Kat, why are you going back to the first floor? What are you doing? I have my reasons. We have seen 3 people, I believe, who are not in a room. Not in a lab room. One of whom didn't talk to us. Oh gosh. I wonder where the chief could be. Oh, he did talk to us. This was the whole, like, what are the consequences of our actions? The Time Research Lab was served as the foundation of this research center, appeared out of nowhere in the year 2300 and was headed up by the scientific genius Balthazar. However, at the peak of his career, he simply vanished. We've continued his work and have come this far. Our work is almost complete. Well, it's about time I headed back. Experiment's about to begin. Yep, that is the chief. So now that he is heading back, we can also head back. Giving him time to, you know, get out the door. So we'll head back up. See if we can't do anything about that room that we couldn't get into. Because apparently we're not special enough. Hear that, Kyle? You're special, but you're not that special. Alright, up to the 4th floor. Once again. Lovely little glass-sided elevator. And off to this side. Gasp! Where have they gone? Well, you see now that the chief's here. This is the observation room. This is where we observe the 2 parallel worlds. Ah yes, the differences. Destroyed gate. Guarded gate. Is that salt and pepper? It very well might be. What do you have to say? Why won't you talk to me? The main computer of Chronopolis is called Fate. Thank you for that insight. Here we see a deconstructed record of Fate. The record of Fate is exposed. Gasp! 2 worlds that are so close and yet so far in nature exist in different dimensions. Under the surveillance of the main computer of Chronopolis, Fate. In other words, Fate has always been observing the 2 parallel worlds and guiding them. Fate has been manipulating the world of El Nido in order to avoid any major change to the history it knows. If an event on El Nido influences the main continent, the year 2400 in which Fate exists would change. This paradox could potentially lead to great disaster. The records of Fate, Fate's terminals, collect data from around the world and input guidance directly into the minds of its users. In this discreet way, Fate is able to control the lives of people without them knowing. Guided by Fate, the people of El Nido live a harmonious life. In a sense, they are nothing more than puppets of Fate. An instruction to the young girl in Arnie 01 to give up going to the main continent as a poet. An instruction to the man in Arnie 02 to give up becoming a fisherman. A plan to avoid any point of contact with the main continent so as not to affect history. However, ever since the formation of the Dead Sea 10 years ago, Fate has been unable to intervene directly with World 01. Huh. I wonder what happened. Best Fate could do was cross the dimension and receive data through the records of Fate. And with much difficulty, Fate succeeded in binding Miguel to the Dead Sea as a watchman. So yeah, we get a little insight as to why Miguel is there. What do you have to say?
Fate is a large-scale prototype completed in the year 2300. It integrated the old mother brain computer circuitry into a more powerful supercomputer.
Okay. This fate contains a massive amount of historical data dating up to the year 2400. Neat. Hello? Is there anything I can do over here? No? Well, hello. And with that, we get access to this chest. Got a card key. So that's the one you have to do. Then we also see this glowy light over here. It all began with a notebook my mother handed me. She told me she found it while cleaning out the closet. This old notebook, covered with mold, was a diary that belonged to my grandfather, who passed away years ago. It contained my grandfather's distant memories.
Does this device play back archives?
Looks like someone's memoirs.
I wonder if you still remember how we first met and our many adventures. It all seemed like a dream. We ran like the wind during those warm summer days long ago. You were a piece of a star that fell from the sky. I can still relive the memories of those days long past, just by closing my eyes like such and whispering your name into the desolate night. Bellis. Bellis. Radical Dreamers. Le Trésor Interdit. What's this? Radical Dreamers? What does this mean? There's a conversation with a comrade. Are you ready, Bellis? I know you're anxious, but stay on your toes.
Yeah, likewise, mate. You mess up and I'm leaving you behind. Got that, Kyle? Come on, McGill, let's go. The bastard Link's gonna get what he deserves. Say your prayers, not that it'll do you any good. ...
This seems to be an archive from a different time than our own. Aside from the two worlds we already know about, other worlds and times may also exist.
That's right, that was Bellis talking to Kyle. And someone else named Miguel, but that's not the point. Which is a really interesting thing to think about. Anyway, gonna head on over here and head on down to the basement, because we have the key card now. Hoo boy, this is about to be a doozy. Is there a record of fate? There's not a record of fate here. I'm gonna go save first, actually. Especially since there's those two combats right there. Which, fun fact, you could just get into a fight with one, run away, and disrupt their pattern so that you could just like sneak between them. But I'm gonna do it the right way and fight one of them. So I am gonna do a couple things because there is a fairly big fight coming up. This is a fight that I need to prepare for, so I'm gonna switch up my party, switch up my elements, and I'll see you in just a second. Alright, I've shifted stuff around. We've got Vlad in our party now. Much so I want to use little CT. With what's coming up, I need the more elements available. I just realized there's one last thing I need to change that I forgot to change. But that's okay, because I'll go down to the basement and I'll change it. And then we'll go fight a combat. Look, you guys have already seen me fight these things. Basically what's going to happen is I'm going to come down here. I'm going to stand over here. I'm going to change my thing. And then I'll fight, so I'll see you then. Okay, well, I'm back. Something really interesting happened in that battle, and we'll see it again in a second. But Kyle was recovering health? So that was interesting. Yeah. I think it might be the Master Mune, to be honest. So we'll step on over here. Fingerprint and retina scan required.
Please step inside the circle and hold up your left hand.
Kyle does so.
Analyzing. Please stand by. Analysis complete. Fingerprints, retina, and C-class DNA all clear. Data discrepancy due to aging within permissible range. 96% confirmation that this individual is the last registered arbiter. Access granted. Welcome back, Chrono Trigger.
The wrong game. First Lynx, now you. Gosh.
So that's why Lynx needed Kyle's form. Lynx must be inside already. Yes, along with the frozen flame.
Yep. Let's skedaddle on in.
Arbiter confirmed. Access granted.
You can fight both combats if you want, but I had two at once and they confused you and it was just bad. Alright, so we see this giant orb. Where are we? Is that the frozen flame?
Exactly. The hearer of people's prayers, the provider of riches, fame, and power, the bestower of eternal life, the promiser of peace and happiness. This is the essence of what descended from the heavens in the prehistoric age. The living crimson stone, the frozen flame. Lynx, what took you so long? You had me worried. Worried that you might have perished on the way here. Are you all right? It's no use. I put her soul to sleep. I had to remove any potential obstacle from us having this talk. Who are you? What are you after? You still don't know. I am the human incarnation of fate. The living interface of the fate computer system. Or put simply, I, too, am fate. What? 14 years ago, on the night of a terrible storm, the cogs began to turn. That night, Wazuki and Miguel set out to sea carrying a sick young child in their boat. That child was you, Kyle, after you'd been attacked by that panther demon. Your poisoned wounds were beyond the healing abilities of the doctors in Termina or even Goldove. So they set sail to Marbule in order to see the sage there, not knowing how bad the storm would become. Being skilled sailors, the two men were able to survive the storm, but they were blown off course and came ashore on this island, where they decided to seek shelter. At the time, this research center was offline due to the severity of the storm. It only took 10 minutes for the system to power back up, but by then the flame had found you. Contact with the flame healed your young body, but that was not all. Once the security card system was rebooted, it would only grant access to you, the Arbiter. You can't imagine the trouble this caused the Fate computer system in achieving its objective. Inside of Fate, there was a standalone circuit that had been kept hidden since the old Mother Brain generation. That circuit was designed to start a malfunction, or more precisely, a rebellion. Who would have thought that such a small bug, a traitor, could exist inside of Fate? That hidden circuit was based on the initial Ash-tier model circuit board, with extra logic added by another scientist. Fate itself did not realize that this circuit was present within the core of its system, or more correctly, the circuit was programmed so that the moment Fate did detect it, it would erase all record of its detection. Dr. Luca Ash-tier. Unbelievably intelligent and incredibly enthusiastic. You might even go so far as to call her a mad scientist. Of course, I don't believe it was Luca alone that devised this plan. I'm sure that the first curator of this research center, a man named Balthazar, had a hand in it too. Fate, bring out the traitor, Prometheus. Affirmative. Ah, you've finally released me. Welcome back. So you're the real Kyle. I've waited a long time for you. Glad you made it in time.
Kyle, I beg you. Please bring an end to the enmity between Fate and the dragons. Fate. Eliminate him. Affirmative. Now eliminating Prometheus. No, you cannot. Kyle, please, for the future of mankind. For the future. Idiot. Destruction to those who oppose the goddess of fate. Lynx, why you... Huh, come, Kyle. That's right. We get to fight this giant thing. Show me what the purpose of your life on this planet is. Teach me what it means to be alive. Oh boy. And rather than our typical battle theme, we get this music. This is Fate. It's creepy. Alright, Fate is an init black. I have taken the precaution of putting the black plate on Kyle, because we will need it. Fate has several quirks, which we will see. Commencing countdown. 5. On each stage of its countdown, it does something different. When it reaches the last portion of the countdown, stuff gets crazy. We're going to try to prevent stuff getting crazy. I'm gonna try and pull something off. We'll see if I can do it. 4. Graviton on a neutral field, thankfully. And nobody's taken damage so far. They will have after this, obviously. Thankfully heals Kyle. Alright, I'm going to finish attacking up with Kyle. Doesn't even matter that I missed. Commence the operation. I think it was Vlad I need it full. Nope. Nope. Yes, there we go. Alright, Photon Beam. Followed by... immediately after this... a meteorite. Followed by immediately after this... please, please, please... another photon beam. I am so screwed if this doesn't work. Okay. Yes! Perfect! Alright, Saints, we're gonna get to see this white summon. You notice that it targeted us. So this is not necessarily the best point to use it, but you're gonna see what happens in a second here. 5 spears come from the heavens. Rain onto Fate. 897 damage. We heal. So yes, that would work better later in the battle. But honestly, I had the chance to pull it off and I figured I would do it. I am trying to just deal damage as much as possible in as quick succession as possible. That's a tech skill that has an entirely negative field against it, so still does 142 damage to April though. This is why. This is why I do the things I do. Okay. April... let's attack up a little bit. No, I just need you to do that. We're gonna try here option number 2. I wonder if that's from the black element. This is gonna hurt if it's in everything one tech skill. Free fall. Oh, please not on April. Gosh, why is it on April?
That might kill her. It was close. Alright. It's not either of my people with revive. I have another, okay, I do have another red. To April, I apologize. But I think you'll notice what I'm trying to do. It's obviously not cause excessive amounts of damage right now because I'm doing 0. Oh dang, I did 10 that time. And then Magma Bomb. I can't wait until I get those elements that just change the field. Yes, perfect. I am so sorry. This would have been the time to use Saints instead, but we're gonna Salamander. Is April probably going to die? Yes. But that is a risk I am willing to take. For the sake of getting this off. Getting 2 summons cast in rapid succession? Pretty darn good. And that's another 532. We're down to 1. This is going to hurt a lot. Gravity Blow. Hopefully not on April. The way it's aimed, it's on Vlad. Perfect. Good. Vlad can take it. Vlad's at full. 44. Gravity Blow on me. Oh, this is just gravity blowing everyone. Yeah, April's dead. So that's okay. We'll just do... Oh, it's only on 2 people. Perfect. We'll do... a Cure Plus on April. Get her back up, back going. Lovely. Wonderful. Okay. And then let's, I don't know what I want to do. I have a blue on the field. Let's Ice Blast. Honestly, at this point, just beat him up. It's kind of my plan. And get black elements off the field as much as possible. Which I will do through a Dash and Slash. Yes, this is not a great field for it, but still does 402 damage, so suck it. Okay. Well, I think it's time to start aiming for option number 2 for what I want to do. I have a plan. It is a crazy plan, but I'm going to do it. 0. Ah, yes. Dark Energy. This is what happens when you reach the 0 point. Kyle for sure will survive this. Everyone else is iffy. I'm shocked April didn't die, to be honest. Let me poke you. Do you have a recover all? You do not. Do you have a heal all? You do. Let's play what elements do I have where? Kyle doesn't need it, but everyone else does. So this frees me a little bit to turn over to Kyle and work on getting some elements up, because I have something specifically I need to do with Kyle. I have a couple things actually that I want to specifically do with Kyle. So I think goal 1, can I heal myself? No? Recommencing countdown, 5. Oh boy. Ah, that's gonna hurt. You should stop. Do I have any heals? Just a normal heal, perfect. On self. Probably just gonna cast really anything with Vlad. Oh, once I get Kyle up. That's high enough. Fate is sagging. That was a 543 damage from an attack. That was beautiful. That wasn't what I wanted. Arrow Saucer will work though. All green field, why not? So I have a couple things I want to do with Kyle. I don't think I'm gonna get them both pulled off, to be honest, because I don't think I'm gonna have the time. But you see, I have this thing called Recharge. I'm gonna use that now, actually.
Please recover the element I want. I have a very specific one I'm hoping. I really want my summon recovered. 4. Okay, it's gonna hurt. Grab a ton. So my plan is, if my summon is not recovered, I'm just gonna attack up and use Ultra Nova and Flying Arrow because I've got the Tex and the high level white elements. Like, that's my overall plan, but it would be great if I could get the summon back up and attempt to do that. It is going to be difficult though because I'm pretty much out of white elements on Vlad. So that requires some balancing with Kyle. But I think it's doable. Difficult, but doable. If I make it that far. With the damage I'm doing to Fate, it's possible I won't make it that far. This could go on Kyle, that'd be great. Nope. For some reason, Fate is just targeting April repeatedly, and it sucks. Do you have like a Cure Plus? You do! Perfect. Put that on April. For somehow she's still staying alive though, which is impressive. More power to her for that. You already used your heal. I'm gonna use a Recover All. Because Vlad could use it as well. And also getting black elements off the field. Attack up with Kyle. Do this. It did not recover Saints. What did it even recover? I don't even remember what I've cast here. Oh, Dash and Slash. It recovered Dash and Slash. You know, I'm okay with this. But you know what I'd be even more okay with? Get freaking Flying Arrowed, you jerk. So I didn't get my summon again, but that's okay because honestly that would be a little tough to do. Like I said, with Vlad not really having many white elements to begin with, I tried to stick a couple so that I could do things like this, but I also knew it wouldn't be the most powerful. Apparently Kyle's level 3 is really good because of the physical aspect to it. So try and get Kyle back up real fast for that. Okay, it's 2. I'm going to try and take out before we get to 0. Kyle? Yes! Heal me! 271? Nope. 271 heals. Take that. Alright. So, with that... Ah, perfect! I didn't even need to bring out Kyle again. So yeah, that would be my recommendation for this fight, is Black Plate on Kyle. Keep him well healed if you need to. Get 1 or 2 summons going, and this fight... You saw that. I had April almost die multiple times, but I actually never had her die, so I didn't have to use my revives, which I had on Vlad and Kyle. Granted, I'm at 37 of 40 stars, but I can easily recover that, so I'm not terribly concerned. So this episode might be a little bit of a longer one, or I'll split it into 2. We'll see how everything else shakes out. Because we still have a little bit to figure out. No, how could you? I, Fate, the goddess of fate, was not meant to die. And Lynx fades away, and Bellis stands up. Ah, huh? Where in blazes am I? Kyle, what happened to me? That's it. And she's noticed the frozen flame. And suddenly she's on top of it. And, Jenny comes back? No, ne touch it, do not touch it. Bellis, I know the feelings you have inside of you. The urge to bring everything to nothing is now stronger than your desire to save everyone. You may want to throw yourself down the cliff of destruction. That is your imperative. But s'il vous plaît, Bellis, do not drag Kyle and the others down into destruction with you. Shut up, you loony. I know what I'm doing. It's too late. There's no turning back now. And the flame flashes. And Jenny's on the ground. And everything goes dim. Fate has fallen. Fate has died. Finally, the time has come. Indeed, the long, endless night shall finally come to an end. Now, for mankind. I shall make you bleed. Feel a million years of this planet's agony, pain, and suffering. Uh-oh. Spaghetti-o. Sky Dragon Isle. The birds all scatter. Sky Dragon Isle, are you okay? I don't think it's okay. As out of the ground rises a structure. Wings spreading, water still falling. Oh great, more floating towers. My favorite. My favorite. Tower. It's come back to life again. In the year 2400, during a counter-time experiment, the flame goes out of control. This causes the dimensions to rip apart, resulting in the time crash. Engulfed in an enormous dimensional vortex, Chronopolis was hurled 10,000 years back in time, and I cannot hold this accent. Perhaps it was the awakening Lavos who pulled the frozen flame through time to it. Oi, maybe so that Lavos, who saw the possibility that some young adventurers might destroy it, could create a backup plan. That ain't all. At the same time, another city from a different dimension's future was also thrown back in time. Dinopolis, the future city of the Reptites, Azala's descendants, who had evolved more closely with the planet. Just as Lavos, in an attempt to save itself, summoned Chronopolis from the distant future, perhaps our planet beckoned Dinopolis into the past. Maybe as a measure against Chronopolis and humanity. It wasn't the dragon gods who sealed up the frozen flame. It was fate, which used the flame's power to divide and seal the dragons in slumber. Now that fate has been defeated, the dragons will join together again and start their revenge. Thank you for making me read that in an absolutely horrible and inconsistent accent. Ah yes, 6 dragons flying in the sky. Gentle flying as they all float behind the sky dragon, overlooking everything. And the water dragon and the earth dragon just kind of like wiggling in the sky. There's Jenny. The green dragon bares its fangs, goes crazy, and jumps forward. And fights the sky dragon. And out of it come little tendrils. I'm sorry, the earth dragon does have wings, my bad. The other dragons, in their own ways, make their way to the now glowing mass. 1. Let's see. Destruction.
I feared it would come to this. I didn't want to have to fight with you if it could have been avoided. Adieu, Kyle. Adieu.
And she flies into the frozen flame. And Bellis collapses as Jenny shoots up towards the dragon monstrosity conglomeration. Interesting. Interesting. Give me a frickin' break. You mean to tell me we were being used all this time? Yeah. Damn. What's done is done, although we may not like it. In any case, we need to make our way into that floating tower.
Yes, we cannot just twiddle our thumbs and do nothing.
The only problem is... so we have to find a way up there, right? It's not like the great SS Invincible can make it up there either.
There has to be a way.
At least our objective is clear. I do not know how, but we must find a way.
So, whatever happened to Bellis after that?
Doesn't look like she'll ever wake up. Indeed. She is resting at Danny's place.
Her spirit seems to be possessed by the past. A powerful item is necessary in order to dispel it.
Powerful item, you say? Powerful item. There's no sense staying here. Come on, mateys, let's shove off. Yeah, and so we do indeed shove off. We now have the chance to change our party if we so desire. We have the exact same party members available to us as we did before. If I am remembering correctly, we did not gain nor lose party members from that. I'm not going to change my party at this point in time. I probably will in the very near future. And we find ourselves back out on the world map. With the Dead Sea Ruins there. We are in another world because we were just inside there. And if we go over here... Oh, look, it's Terra Tower. We can't get into it, as you can tell by the purple text. Same thing we see over at Gaia's Navel. Now, if we could get the Wingipede to take us there, that would be one option. But as far as we can tell, we've never been able to control it. We've only just fed it, and it's taken us to Gaia's Navel. What we need is some other way to fly in. And we'll figure that out next time. So I will see you then.